Okay, I'm going to talk today a little bit about our chapter 11 reading, as far as ability grouping and tracking and using a direct instruction model for educating the kiddos in our room. I'm going to go back and draw off of my previous teaching position, which was in a kindergarten classroom, and just talk about how I felt like those sorts of things, how they worked in my room and how they benefited the kids in my classroom. So, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about ability grouping, especially in the elementary school. I feel like it can be a great strategy to serve kids because I firmly believe that it's our job as educators to take students where they are and push them forward and continue to help them grow as learners. Um, so those starting places obviously are very different for every child that's in our classroom. And so the advantage to using an ability group approach is that you can group kids together that have the same sort of missing skills, and you can really focus on those skills that they have deficits in, and try and get them caught up. Now, we used a program very similar to a walk to read program in kindergarten. So we took, for example, all 100 of the kiddos that were enrolled in kindergarten, did some screening, tried to use various different tools to screen. So it wasn't just we're going to take a Dibbles report and we're going to divide kids out that way. Teacher input, those sorts of things also played into how we divided kids out. And so you walked according to what your ability was. Like I said, some real advantages to having a whole classroom of readers that are working on the same skills. You can really focus in on those skills. The same goes to say, though, that if you have the highest ability reading group in your classroom, you're able to push those kiddos simply because maybe the basic skills that they have to have at that grade level, they've mastered already, so you can move them on and challenge them, really individualize their learning for what needs to come next. And those kids that are in that lower achieving group, you can also really back up the curriculum and move at a pace that's comfortable for them, that they feel successful as well. So I guess as far as I support that approach to ability level, ability group, especially at an elementary level. So I've seen good things. Now, with that being said, in the same district, we were also required to use a direct instruction model during that literacy block delivery. And that is the part that I probably struggled with the most, simply because I felt like it was very rote and memorized, not only on the part of me as the teacher having a very scripted curriculum to read. I also felt like I was teaching the children in that classroom, especially in that lower ability group, to learn how to respond correctly. It seemed to eliminate any of the critical thinking and really like analyzing the information. They learned how to respond without really having to think about what the correct response was, because especially at the kindergarten level, we're working on a lot of letters and sounds, and it's almost like they didn't even have to engage their brain, as long as they kind of knew how to look and sound the part of a rote response, choral response. They kind of fit in. And so I struggle with that direct instruction piece. I feel like it's not pushing our kids to be critical thinkers and problem solvers. And so I really struggled as an educator in that sort of environment. Moving into a tracking piece, at my current job, I have the opportunity to work in a K-12 environment with special education students and kind of supervise that program. And so I guess I view the tracking piece happening more in a junior high and high school. Kids are split out. Yes, it's still ability grouping, but I kind of feel like if you have to start in a certain level math class, it's really hard to move ahead, jump further ahead. And so kind of once you start in that math track, that's kind of how things carry out for you. But again, I see some real advantages to it simply because kids are comfortable surrounded by peers that can answer like them, have the same skill set. They can kind of work together because they're all either missing those same skills, need to work on those same skills. And so I see some real advantages to tracking. Um, but it all kind of boils down to me, and I wrote it in my paper, that I feel like education should be about individual pacing. And I know that is more challenging in bigger districts, but I really feel that no matter where those students are when they enter our doors, our job is to push them and to take them from where they are and add skills and academic areas to push them to the next level. And so I really do feel like it's about individual pacing of instruction, and really knowing your kids and what they know and what they need and how to push them. So I feel like that would, I guess, cover every ability group if you really look at an individual student and what they need next. And like I said, I understand that, I work in a D2 school. Um, we have 100 kids in our junior high and high school, and so it's easier probably for us to individualize that instruction a little more and really know our kids. So I understand that piece of it, but I see some real advantages to look at students individually and really map out what skills they need. So anyway, I guess in essence, I support ability grouping and tracking, but I also like to know that we're doing everything we can to make their education personalized, no matter what their ability level is. Thanks for listening.